I'm Adela Serrano. Welcome to EkhartYoga.com. We'll do a short tutorial about tree pose, a balancing pose. We'll be needing a bolster or some sort of unstable surface. It could be a cushion, a couple of blankets or towels, and a block or two blocks. We're just going to start with standing up with the block here, all the way up in between your legs. If it's possible for you, have your big toes and your heels touching, and then straighten the legs. Compact the outer legs in the direction of the block. That's if you want to squeeze the block. And then start to lift from the pubic bone to your navel, to your chest, and just be here. Have your arms alongside the body and feel especially the action of the block in between the inner leg. For tree pose, if you visualize that pose in your head, you know that you will be balancing on one leg and the other foot will be right where the block is. So it's nice to have a point of reference. It's like, okay, how can I squeeze the block more and more and more and more in between my inner thighs? Do that. Really squeeze the block. Press into the block. You will be doing that later against the foot. So again, it's nice to feel it already. Good. Now, put the block away. Before we go and do a balancing pose, it's nice to do a couple of standing poses so that you feel the ground under your 2 feet, and then you can go ahead and balance. So we're going to take a long step out to the sides, wide legs. Now from here, turn your right leg out and your left leg in a little bit. Observe how this leg turning out, it's already doing the action that you will be needing for tree pose. Lift your right arm up, inhale, and as you exhale, start to lengthen the right side of your torso. As you come down, you can have your hand on your ankle, on the floor, up a little higher here. Just be here, lift your left arm up. Observe and just take a moment here to feel that you are standing on your 2 feet and that the right leg is rolling out. Inhale to come up. Change, so turn your right toes a little bit in and the whole of your left leg out. Inhale again, and as you exhale, go to the other side. Triangle pose. Very good preparation for tree pose. Come back up. Release your arms. It's going to do the warrior 2. And just to reinforce again that outer rotation of the hip, turn your right leg out. Open your arms to the sides, inhale, and as you exhale, bend. See how your right leg is now doing something very similar to what it has to do when you go into the tree pose. Come back up. To the other side, inhale, exhale, bend. Warrior 2. And then come back up. Good. Have your feet together and take the block again. Just as a reminder. Feet together, big toes touching, heels touching. And take a moment here to squeeze the block in, or just to move your inner thighs into the block. Now from here, lift your arms up. Observe still how you are standing on your 2 feet with the block in between your inner thighs, and you make yourself taller. Release the arms down. The block to the sides. Now, if you know that you are a little bit unstable when you are standing only on one leg, that is fine, because you can do this leaning against the wall. You stand on your 2 feet, and then you lift your right leg. You turn it out like you were doing in those standing poses. You hold the foot for a moment. You place the foot on your inner thigh, and then immediately the inner leg has to press into that foot as if it was pressing into the block. Remember that? And then you can do tree pose in here. So balance is not an issue, but you can still get into the shape. Good. Release. Other leg, left. It is very important that the moment you place your foot in the inner thigh, that you're not collapsing onto that leg. You have to find a way of pressing the inner leg into that foot, like you were doing with your block. Arms up. And then release. Good. Now we're going to make this a little bit more challenging and then put one block in front of the other block. And then you're going to stand onto your blocks. Then you're going to do right leg up, foot against the leg, press the inner thigh immediately back into the foot. Keep the whole of your torso lifting and then lift your arms up. And then release. Do with the other leg. Here. Left leg up. Sometimes when we do the tree pose, this foot slides down. Yes? So very important so that that doesn't happen is to again press the inner leg back into the foot. This way. Yeah? Lifting the arms up, make yourself longer and longer and longer. And then release. Another fun way of doing tree pose is to do that in a very unstable surface. It builds up balance. Yeah? So you stand onto your bolster or your cushion. It is not as stable as the floor of the block. And then you try here. Immediately pressing the leg back into the foot. And then arms up. Yes, and then lower. And we do the other. Foot into leg, leg into foot. Up. Inhale. Exhale. Lower the arms. And now, when you have challenged the shape for a little bit, then all of a sudden it's easier to do the full pose on the floor. So we will be standing on the left foot, right leg up, press the leg into the foot as much as you press the foot into the leg. Keep from the pubic bone to your navel to your breastbone out of the crown of the head, that lift, and then arms up. And then release. And do the other side. Arms up. And then release. And I hope you found this helpful. You can find many more classes and tips and tutorials at EkhartYoga.com.